Then we got to do the brawn finisher right here.
More compensation coming for errors. Will you be getting some dark promo credits, some free red stars, or something else? Is the next legendary character coming, an arena character? We're looking for some arena solutions. And why are events getting stingier? We're talking about all of these things, the latest data mines, and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I am joined by my brother MobileGamer. And if you're ready for it, MobileGamer, let him know what to do.
Do we do the Let's Go Smash It?
Yes.
Let's go smash it.
And yes, welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is MobileGamer, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every single week. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 videos, news videos, question and answer videos, gameplay, everything to help you in Marvel Strike Force. But how are you doing today in Marvel Strike Force, brother Mobile?
I'm doing amazing. I'm absolutely amazing. How are you?
I am doing great. Now, there was a Incursion campaign that we got earlier this week. How did you do? Were you able to partake in some of those rewards? Did it refresh while you're doing it? Did you spend some cores to refresh some of those nodes? What happened with these Incursion raids with you? Or Incursion campaigns with you?
Yeah, so there was a total of 30 nodes, and yes, I did refresh. I probably spent 100, maybe 200 cores. I don't know. I refreshed it at least twice, right? I don't know if I refreshed it 3 times. I think you had
to refresh it a few times just to get all those nodes there.
Yeah, so I absolutely was able to get through all of them. A lot of people got stuck on 1-9. And as you got towards like the very end on 3-7, 3-8, 3-9, 3-10, there was a very small random chance of getting 7 reds on select characters. Like 3-9 had Kang. I think I was able to get a white Tigra from 3-6 or 3-7, somewhere out there. Ooh. So I did get a 7 red out of it, and
nice.
I already had that character at 7 red, so it converted to Elite 4s, like 12,000 Elite 4s, and as you know, that's not super great, right? But it's interesting because I was able to get Red Star Orbs, and the way that I see Red Star Orbs is I will just save them and I will open them when there's 10x. So it's like a very drip, slow way of maybe getting some dark promotion credits, a slow drip way of getting gold promotion credits, and a way of getting some of these characters out to 7 red without having to use gold promotion credits if you can eventually get them to drop. Now, there was no way of knowing how much energy it would give, and also the amount that you would get per 50 cores seemed a little bit low in my opinion. But that being said, it wasn't finished. So whatever we saw may or may not actually make it into the game, so I don't know. But I was able to get in there and do that.
Yeah, I was as well. I got a 6 red star and 1 character. I had Blade Master Mobile. Yeah. Are you excited? It goes really well with the 7-star Nobu that I know some people have.
Yeah.
But I got a bunch of red stars. I think I had less than 10 of these orbs. I have 39 right now. So yeah, I got a bunch of these. I'm going to open them same time as you get those dark promotion credits. When do you think the real campaign is going to be live? They took this down within about 2 to 3 hours. This was during a war, during a crucible, so we should be getting some compensation. But how much of an advantage do you think it gave players that were able to get this? I mean, for myself, I got maybe some dark promo credits, some gold and silver promo credits, which I have a lot of. It doesn't really make too much of a difference as far as that. But if you look at my gold, silver promos, I got 1,500, 1,100 of these. So that wasn't a huge difference for me. But what difference did it make for some players that maybe were able to get more lucky and get some red stars on some better characters?
So here's the thing. It's not like this thing just feeds you dark promotion credits or gold promotion credits. That wasn't the case at all, right?
No,
very little.
A little bit. It's
very little. Bit. So yes, I got some red stars, and I'm going to open them when the 10x, right? And then the rest of it was random, right? I can't say that it was like over the top good. I think long term this is good. So I think what people really want to know is like the people that missed the event is like, wow, everybody got a 7 red star Kang. No, that's not what happened.
I didn't.
No, that's not what happened.
It's very, very low drop rates. I'm thinking way less than 1%.
Yeah, I mean, this game, usually on these like extremely high drop rates, which was not disclosed for this, what the drop rates were, it's usually a 1 in 2,000 chance, for the extreme, drop rate, right? I don't know what the drop rate was, and maybe I'm the only
very low. I don't know what it was. Here.
So I don't like if you missed this. I don't think that this really put people at a significant advantage. There may be one or a handful number of people that did get that one key character, but then again, at the end of the day, they've been selling
coming back. They're coming back.
Well, they've been selling red stars, right? I mean, for $50, 3,000 gold promotion credits. So, you asked, when do you think this is going to come back? My guess is they're going to try to sell us one more round of that, and I feel like this may have negatively impacted sales of that, because now, why would you buy that $50 for 3,000 gold promotion credits if they're going to make better access to it in this game mode?
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think this is an indication that red stars, like a lot of it theorize, there's some other progression system coming. I know you were talking about blue stars. It could be green. It could be whatever color. But there's another progression system coming. They're making silver promotion credits so abundant, gold promotion so abundant. This kind of mission that just gives out red stars if you get lucky enough. So I do think this is an indication that something else is coming.
Right. And they also, if we go back to this mode that we played was locked behind red stars, right? So to get through the third act, 3- whatever, it was locked behind 6 red, skill, or bio, which we kind of like, this is a red flag, content being locked behind red stars. I'm actually more comfortable with it now, knowing
6 stars is very different than 7, though. It's right, well, because a lot of people take their gold promo credits because you could get 3 characters up to 6 instead of 2 characters to the 7. So for me, I have a lot of characters at 6. I don't have a lot of characters at 7. So it didn't seem as bad as it would have if it was 7.
It's not going to surprise me if they start locking content behind 7 red stars or 6 red stars. It's not going to surprise me if they start.
6, not that bad. 7, yeah.
Because what's going to end up happening is that the real hurdle is going to be how many yellow stars you have at the end of the day. And then also characters that are dark promotion credits are not going to have red stars, right? Because that's going to take a long time. So this is going to change things going forward. That's a
point I didn't even think of. The red stars is tied to the gold stars. So not able to use a lot of these characters because there's not an abundance of these gold stars. That's something I didn't even think about.
Yeah. So I had some extreme objections to like this idea here that stuff was going to be locked behind 6 stars. And, how do you get 6 stars? Well, looks like they're providing some sort of system where there's better access to gold promotion credits, which kind of satisfies my objection. Just because something is extremely scarce or hard to get is different to me than something being random and scarce. Like, for example, if a game mode said, hey, you got to have 7 red and you really need Kestrel. Kestrel's the best character. And the only way that you can get Kestrel is if you open a Elite 7 and randomly get Kestrel. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. And the solution to that is gold promotion credits. And if this gives better access to gold promotion credits so that you can work on your Kestrel, just like we have to work on getting Blue ISO 5, right? We have to get it slowly over time. Gear tier 18 slowly over time. Gear tier 17 slowly over time. Yeah. If this gives us a path to slowly over time get the necessary characters, if there's content gated behind it, I'm okay. I mean, I'm not thrilled. Let's just be real frank. I'm not like thrilled, but the idea seems more reasonable now, knowing that this exists or that something like this is coming. I'm more comfortable with the idea, if you will.
Yeah, it seems like they're just pushing out these red stars. All right, take them. They're not being as stingy with them, which I thought was going to happen years ago, but it looks like it's finally happening now. I'm glad that it's happening. Now, they did need to take the game down to remove this because what they said here, it went live earlier than intended. and some people were able to access the campaign mode. It wasn't in the final version of the campaign and needed to put an emergency. Now this, like I mentioned before, went down during Crucible battles. Some people had their Crucible battles crash because of this. War was going on in certain time zones. So what do you think the compensation, what is the correct compensation for this? Will they give out, I mean, they obviously need to compensate for the game going down, but do you think there's going to be any compensation for this event going live? I think what they did when Villains went live early, they just left it, and then you kept those nodes that were completed. I think the same thing happened with Nexus. But do you think that's going to be more difficult, and will they give these players that got it early advantage a little more of that were able to access that early advantage, because it may or may not be difficult? What do you think is going to happen with the difficulty of this, and what do you think their solution to all these issues that this cause is going to be?
All right. At the end of the day, they created this problem and they've got to make it right. So they're the ones that have to fix this. And the problem with whatever proposed solutions that are out there, including whatever I say right here, is that it's unlikely that any of the solutions will make 100% of the players happy. And so they're going to be seeking a solution that is, from a time perspective, how much time do they put into it to get a desired result where X number of players are going to be happy. It's going to be a function of what's the maximum number of players going to be happy. And typically in the past, what Scopely has done is that they've given blanket rewards to everybody that's in a meaningful amount, just to get the most number of people satisfied. Now, there's always going to be some people say, well, that's not fair. The people that got it early got an advantage. Why are they getting the rewards? That always will happen. But they're going to be looking for a solution that's going to get the maximum number of players satisfied with the outcome with the least amount of work. That's just how they function over there. As far as Cosmic Crucible, boy, they do not have a good system whatsoever for rectifying crashes in Cosmic Crucible or War. I've had problems where my game crashed. They won't fix it. They will not modify your score. They'll give you some meaningless rewards. It almost felt like I got insulted by contacting customer support. And so it's hard to say. I know the reason why they do that. The reason why they do that is they don't want to provide a mechanism for someone to purposely sabotage their battle and then contact customers support to get the result changed.
Good point on that.
They have no interest in modifying the scores to the Cosmic Crucible. I don't think they've ever done it. And so if your game crashed, think they have as well.
I know before they based War on efficiency, they would say on compensation it was fine, but now it's been based on efficiency. The score doesn't need to be modified to make it like nothing happened. But
as far as I know,
like you just mentioned,
as far as I know,
crashing on purpose.
Yeah, or as far as I know, I've never seen them modify the Crucible scores, because this was an issue I had with them where I had a battle crash and all I wanted was, the battle was over. It went to the victory screen and then the game crashed and I didn't get credit for it. Right. I actually had footage of it. Right.
I've had that happen a few times too.
Yeah. They won't fix it. They won't fix it.
I didn't write in support. I knew they weren't going to fix it. I didn't even write in.
Yeah. They won't fix it.
Sucks.
And I understand why. Yeah, they don't want anybody to abuse the system. So it is what it is. And so for the people that had their games crash, that sucks. I don't know what to tell you.
What do you think is a fair blanket compensation? Because I think it will be blanket. I don't think they're going to make it individual. I mean, one of the blanket solutions that we got previously was for that TVA milestones. Everybody just got a bunch of currency for that, regardless of how much you had stored and how much you've spent during that event. So hopefully it's something good. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to be the solution for this emergency maintenance that most people didn't get any advance notice of. All right, we have an event going on right now, the Mockingbird event, which seems like a bad event. I know this is not your area of expertise. You like playing the game more, War, Crucible, things like that. But there are these events that lead into that I like to min-max. Now, this is the big ticket item, the milestone 14 that are to get the Mockingbird's Avengers contract. These numbers seem a little off. What have you noticed as someone that doesn't pay too much attention to the minute details of these events. What have you noticed about this? Does it seem harder for you to get to these bigger items?
The conversion ratio on this event is kind of bad, and it's going to be challenging to get to the event item, which has typically been relatively easy to get to. Well, I don't know if they looked at the numbers from last month and they dialed it up, or if this is a mistake, but this seems more challenging for moderately engaged players to get to. Like they've used words like that, moderately engaged or highly engaged. What that means to me is that a highly engaged or highly engaged player means that through gameplay, whether you're free to play or not, you're able to achieve the result. That's what that means. It draws a distinction between a whalestone, which you know what I mean by that, where it's just not possible.
All these milestones that I haven't looked at in years down here.
It's just whalestones. Like you spend money on event currency, you buy event offers if you want to get those down there, and it is what it is.
All right, so now they're getting less and less shards. I mean, it looks like the unlock for Mockingbird pretty easy, but that's a 2-star unlock. The 3-star version of this character on her release event looks to be pretty stingy. Why do you think it's getting tougher and tougher to get shards for characters? I mean, they're giving more shards in subsequent events before they become farmable, but what do you think the main end goal of this is for them by reducing the shards? Is it just they're struggling for money and they want us to buy more? Is it something simple like that, or is there some bigger plan?
Okay, so this is just from the outside looking in. It looks like on the initial event, they're wanting us to get less shards, meaning like, you know how there were events in the past, like we're going back years, where you could get a 5, right? Yeah. And now they've scaled it back to like a 3 or a 4, right? But what I've noticed, and I know you've noticed it too, is that after the initial event, there is more access to shards that drips in over the next month. And it feels like they've shifted from, if you get what you get right now at the start, right? Through the initial offers event, right? And then there's this scarcity for several months, and then maybe it becomes farmable someday, right? Yeah. It feels like they're dripping shards through the battle passes and the strike passes, right? So if you like Mockingbird, right? Let's say you only get a 3-star. Well, then I wouldn't be surprised if Mockingbird appeared in a battle pass or strike pass.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what the current one is a little surprising. They're going backwards because I think Beta Ray Bill and some of these other characters were in there before. It would have made more sense to have more of these new Avengers in the current battle passes. But yeah, even in the DATAMINES that we're going to talk about with some of these events coming up, looks like some of the rewards are new Avengers shards. So we'll get more shards for her before she becomes farmable. It just doesn't feel as good to get as little shards in the initial event as we used to.
I know for sure this doesn't feel good, but I've noticed that getting more shards later, through an event store or something like that, like there'll be an event store, right? And it's like, wow, I was a couple shards off from the character that came out a month ago. Yeah. That gap between purchases and the first event, and then waiting for the character to be farmable, there seems to be this middle ground now where you maybe can get a couple extra shards from an event store or from a battle pass, which I think is okay. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed that, but that's what I've noticed.
No, I think before they become farmable, we have the same amount of shards. It's just I like to get all that up front and then maybe nothing for a while and then farmable. It feels a little better to get those upfront shards rather than trickle it out.
More is better, right? They're trying. I feel like they're wanting to to use that intermediate area to fuel battle pass sales. Like right now we've got Infinity War Thor and Beta Ray Bill right inside of the battle passes. Like, and if you're looking at the battle pass and it's like, wow, if I get those extra shards from the paid track, then I can get, another star level. I think that because, like a lot of times first of all, the strike pass is way more attractive now. I don't know if you're going to talk about that today, but it's way more attractive
right now though.
Okay, we'll talk about it right now. The strike pass went from being that's the battle pass, but the go to the strike pass. The strike pass.
I bought the pass too. I bought, and I normally don't buy these, but I bought the Miss Marvel one and the Ghost Rider one. This one is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, right there, it's 1,000. We'll start at the beginning. Start at the very beginning. 1,000 cores, right?
Yeah.
2 elite. So 5,000 elite 7s is 2 elite 7s, right? And then we got gold orbs. Then we have a character that not everybody has maxed out, right? And then here comes where a lot of people are looking for elite
big change. This is a big change right here.
Elite 4s and elite 5s. Because that might, those elite 5s, or not elite 5s, but those T5s,
the L4. If you're listening to the podcast version, we're talking about the ISO 8 blues, the 4s and the 5s.
Yeah, dude, the right there. If that's what you need to get a big boy apocalypse, and anyways, the strike pass is, a lot better value than the battle pass in my experience. And this is a change, and this just happened this week.
Yeah, this is one that they teased in the blog post. They said sometime during this update. And yeah, now it's here. So that's a good thing. Now, I did want to talk about this other event that's going on right now, and it's an alliance-wide event. And previous alliance-wide events, I don't know if you paid attention to it, but as a free-to-play alliance, meaning spending power cores, doing your daily activity, but not getting any offers, you're able to get the milestone 19 on these alliance-wide events. Doesn't look like it's going to be even close to that for this one. And one of the questions my chat was asking this morning, are these alliance-wide events causing alliances to break up? What is the effect been in your alliance, and what have you been hearing from the community? All these alliance-wide events.
All right, so this is not a new problem that Scoplay has created for the community. They've been very deliberate, I want to say over the last 18 months in, creating tension among alliance mates. And if you are a highly engaged, somewhat competitive, and not even talking about spending, we're just talking about level of engagement, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to have a good time with casuals. They've really pushed this. So like in the alliance that I'm in, we have 24 engaged players, and the plan is for us to do the 50s, spin the 50s, right? Max out the 50s on the refreshes every day. And then on the last day, we're going to make an assessment on what to do on the last milestone, right? Yeah. Well, that only works if you have 24 engaged players. If you don't have 24 engaged players and you have 12 that are and 12 that aren't, and you have people that are not on board, it's going to create a problem. And it's like they want engaged players to play with other engaged players, and they want casual players to play with casual players. They've drawn a line in the sand, and this is not a new thing. This has been going on for about 18 months now.
Yeah, it's probably about that 18 months or so. But previously, alliances stuck together. You were able to get more higher engaged players and more casual players. It doesn't seem that's possible now with these alliance-wide events. And the other issue I did want to bring up in this event, some players were able to get their ISO 8 energy for 5 days instead of 4. Some players only 4 days.
Yeah, this idea that you played with family members, or like I bumped into a guy at a Best Buy that worked there, and he says, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 people here in Best Buy, and we all play together. And you could tell that one of the guys is hyper engaged and the other 4 just casually play. Do you think they're still in the same alliance after this system?
Not after this started, like about 18 months, like you said. Yeah, it was with the apocalypse milestones and this month-long milestones that these kind of started, and that's when it's been harder and harder to recruit. I don't know about your alliance, but it seems like it's been gotten harder and harder to recruit since all that started.
And before you move on from this, go back in game. The real problem right now, in my opinion, is the top 1% for alliance milestones. Go into the alliance milestone tab. Okay. Yeah, the raid milestones. They have the raid milestones. This is the problem right here. The raid season. The raids,
that only 1% could get this.
Yeah, so that only the 1% can get this, which is about 150 alliances, right? And that is gating super-skrull to basically the 24 people in the top 150 alliances, and if you're outside of that 1% and you're trying to get super-skrull, right? It's a big hassle.
It's very hard. It's very hard.
It's a big hassle because then you're just burning through gold and maybe refreshing the supply store. This right here is so incredibly steep and benefits the top 150 alliances so heavily, and everybody else is like, I don't know. It's a strange system. It's just the cutoff is so steep on that.
It is. Now, obviously, for Dark Dimension 6, they need to ease up on this. When do you think they're going to do that? They need to do that sometime. They're not going to keep it. How many more super-skrulls do you think need to be unlocked before they start moving this down to maybe, I don't know, top 10% or something like that?
So last I heard, there's about 250 super-skrulls in the game, right? And I think they're going to, they have some metric that they're looking at. Let's say it's 1,000 or 2,000 or 2,500, who knows? Yeah. But I think they're waiting to hit a threshold of, because the people that have super-skrull today did spend money, like they spent money, and it's like, okay, well, we've extracted as many dollars out of those people, and the people in the next basket of spenders are not going to spend, so we might as well loosen this up. I don't know if we've hit that threshold. And I think it's probably when there are thousands of super-skrulls.
Oh man, it's gonna be rough. Yeah, I think that fuels the competitiveness of these incursion raids by eliminating like this. And
listen, super-skrull is important in 3 game modes right now. Like in Alliance War, the number of super-skrulls your alliance has versus the number of super-skrulls the other alliance has is probably one of the main things that's going to determine whether you win or lose. Your Cosmic Crucible. If you play up against a guy with super-skrull, you probably lost if you don't have super-skrull. Not 100% of the time, but like
you're not clearing a room if you don't have one of the rooms if they have super-skrull and secret defenders there.
Yes,
one is locked right there.
And then there's one guy in our arena shard, and we're in the same arena shard that has super-skrull, and he is at number 1, and he's been at number 1 since.
I don't think anybody even attacks him. I don't think anybody. He doesn't do any battles. Nobody attacks him.
He stays at 1. So. To say that super-skrull is not important, and people know that super-skrull is important because it is. Super-skrull is important. Best character in the game by a big margin right now. Directly impacts 3 game modes, like what have and have not. And that's going to fuel FOMO and spending, right? It's just the way the game works.
Wait, super-skrull, very, very important in our arena shard. Let's talk about arena because we are in the same arena shard. We have that same person at number 1 that's pretty much locked there.
Yeah, we've got one guy that's locked at number 1 for weeks now. He has not moved up. I've never seen him move off number 1. Never. He's been at number 1 for weeks since he got super-skrull.
Ever since super-skrull, because nobody else in this shard has super-skrull. So yeah, our shard's not moving that number 1 spot. I haven't moved a lot either. Normally, I'm ranging in the top 20 to top 50. I've been inside the top 20 for, it's between 50 and 20. I've been inside the top 20 for a week and a half. And I've done very, very few arena attacks. I think secret defenders are just tough to beat. I haven't found a consistent team to win with. I've been trying a few different teams. This is the latest one that I've tried. What are you finding in arena right now? It seems very, very messy. Even the battles I win, like, oh, that's not a clean battle. That's not a good solution. So what is your experience in arena right now?
All right, so I float between 2 because I can't get to number 1. 2. And it used to be 2 and 6, then it was 2 and 8, now it's 2 and 13. We're in the same arena shard. So I drop down to about 13 the most. Now, I do win on attack about 75% of the time without a different team than this. And it's a mirror match, right? Yeah. And the mirror match usually comes down to who goes first. And if my Ms. Marvel goes first, I use the special on their Apocalypse to get immunity. And that usually equals a victory. If their Ms. Marvel goes first, then I just do the ultimate to get the barrier. And then it just comes down to who has the bigger Quicksilver and whether or not you're able to delete their Ms. Marvel before Apocalypse. I mean, ideally, if Apocalypse doesn't even kill Ms. Marvel, because Ms. Marvel's kind of got like an anti... She
taunts when he gets empowered. It's annoying on that ultimate.
It's specifically designed for Apocalypse. So Quicksilver can actually delete Ms. Marvel before she goes. And
her special and her basic.
Or the worst case scenario is that the Apocalypse goes and then doesn't even kill the Ms. Marvel with the super basic. You know what I mean? So there's two extremes. Yeah, there's two extremes. So, I can climb to 2, but I don't fight people at my payout. And, then where I land in somewhere usually between 2 and 11.
All right, so that leads to 2 questions. 1, they're giving a lot of secret defender shards away. Is that because this is meant for more of an arena defense team, and it's like a sales tactic that we got to spend a lot to build up arena teams, try to get that super-skrull, because the arena defense is so strong now? Do you think that's why they give away all these secret defender shards?
I don't really know. I mean, I suppose I'm happy with that I'm getting more of them, right? It feels good. I mean, I'm taking my secret defenders to DD6, like all of them, right? Like I'm taking all of them into DD6, like I'm taking them to gear tier 18.
And that's just making the arena defenses bigger and bigger, and the Crucible defenses bigger and bigger. Everybody's doing that same thing, and we got some big arena defenses. Crucible, secret defenders and Crucible is a problem right now.
So this is going to be a thing. The main bottleneck for me is yellow stars. Like I'm willing to put gear tier 18 on these guys, blue ISO 5 on these guys, and whatever I can get the red stars, like whatever amount of if I have a 4 yellow, I have a 4 red. If I have a 6 yellow, I have a 6 red, right? I'm not missing red stars. The bottleneck is yellow stars, and it's going forward
from 2 years ago.
Yeah, for going forward, the bottleneck is going to be yellow stars. So to answer your question earlier, why are they being stingy on events? Because that's going to be the real bottleneck. Red stars are not going to be the bottleneck going forward. The bottleneck is going to be yellow stars, and largely red stars may not even be a bottleneck on new characters anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting very lucky with my red star pulls and not opening a lot of those orbs. I got a lot of these orbs.
I mean, when is the last time that you had more yellow stars and red stars on a new release character? When's the last time where you were missing that last red star? It doesn't happen.
I've gotten unlucky with Bifrost, but outside of that, yeah.
Okay, it's just like you typically can get the reds that you need. If you based on
Sylvie, I got so unlucky. I opened so many stuff for Sylvie. I got like 1 red star in her. I don't know what the heck was wrong with my luck there, but that's a weird case.
Well, like
as soon as she popped up in the store, though, I'm buying those stars because I got a lot of silver and gold promo credits.
I pulled a 6 on Tigra, right? I'm never gonna have 6 yellows on her, right? You know what I mean?
I got 7 on Tigra, and I got 0 yellows on her right now.
It's the bottleneck's gonna be yellow stars. Red stars are done as far as I'm concerned, and that's why they're coming out with that new mode.
All right, well, let's talk about the next character that is coming, the next legendary character that's coming. You're gonna need the new Avengers to unlock them, probably some other crappy team as well. But there's a lot of rumors it's Green Goblin. There's a lot of rumors it's gonna be a Cosmic Crucible team. With this arena mess that we have right now, I'm thinking it's gonna be, maybe the team is gonna be for Cosmic Crucible or some other game mode, but I'm thinking that character in particular will have some arena viability. You were talking about the vulnerables and super-skrull earlier. What is your theory of what's going on with Arena? Is it going to be the exposed? Yeah, the one that Val has. With what is your theory of what's going on with Arena? Do you think that next legendary is going to have some viability for this Arena meta, or is just going to be locked to whatever game mode he's supposed to be or she is supposed to be tied to?
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, what's the next legendary character going to be? I don't know. A lot of people are predicting.
There's rumors, but nobody knows for sure. So
it's going to be a Cosmic Crucible character. Does that make sense? Absolutely, right? Why wouldn't? Yeah. I mean, we've got Nova, we have Black Cat, and the next one will probably be Cosmic Crucible. Okay, so people have. So this takes me to another conversation. People are saying Vol is overrated, right? And I'm saying, what if the plan is to create a super-skrull team that revolves around the exposed mechanic? Currently, 2 characters in the game have exposed, that'd be Vol and super-skrull. And if this is going to be, like Apocalypse and the 4 Horsemen is like the Horseman team,
super
right?
Team.
So what if this is the exposed team and the next character has exposed, and that brings up the viability of Vol. Like, what if with Vol we don't understand the full potential of Vol because of how it'll interact with exposed, and the next character having exposed just makes super-skrull stronger. So it's an interesting idea.
I like that theory.
If there was an apocalypse team, maybe this is a super-skrull team building on the exposed mechanic. They just need to add more exposed characters, and Vol plus super-skrull becomes a nightmare.
All right, I'm thinking whatever mode that legendary character is going to be, I think that character is going to have exposed. I think they introduced it for a reason. And I like your theory, maybe a super-skrull, Vol, next legendary, and some other characters, the exposed team. That was fun.
And super-skrull is 2 heroes and 2 villains to get the most out of him, right? So maybe, so that's how it might work. We'll have to see.
We will. Let me know your theories down below. As we talk about Tigra, the newest member of the new Avengers coming to the game. I did not unlock this character, but she did get a rework before her offer went live. Did this rework do anything for your hype level of this character?
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, so I understand why they did that. They want to make this team more viable, specifically in Cosmic Crucible.
Sales. They want people to buy it more. The legendary alone is not driving the sales.
So what was their intent, right? So this team is never going to be arena viable. All right, so check that box off. Not arena viable, right? So how powerful does this team?
Not even close in raids.
Not going to be raid viable, right? So okay, war defense. Well, that kind of sucks. We need to make them more viable to make them more attractive. Oh, okay. So we're going to tie them to the next legendary. Okay, that's a little more interesting. All right, we're going to make it a war, not a war defense. We're going to make it just a war team. Okay, that's more interesting. And so they've gone one other step. Like this team has been reworked so many times that I know of, right? And so
it's not meeting their hype requirements.
Well, so this is I think they're trying to make this a more viable Cosmic Crucible. I saw this team on defense in Cosmic Crucible, and I think it was in room 4, and they blow up people. Like they go when they go, it blows up people. So
what teams did you have to use against it?
I believe I used Dormammu, Eternals, Undying. Which
that was a real team. Jeez.
A real team. And it's like there was a moment where my Icarus almost died the second time. And I remember going, oof, this is rough. So I think that what they're trying to do is make some sort of like B tier Cosmic Crucible, like so that, for some people that upgrade this team, not only are going to get a legendary unlock, they're also going to have some moderate viability inside of Cosmic Crucible. I mean, that's the intent. They want to fuel sales. And if this team is just not useful in Cosmic Crucible, some people are not interested.
Yeah, I'm not interested, and I know I want the legendary, whatever it's going to be. So I'm going to wait to the last minute to build this team. Let me know your thoughts on this team as we move on to Zombie Iron Man. We got Zombie Juggernaut coming in this update sometime. I'm thinking it's closer to Halloween, which leaves many people wondering, when is Zombie Iron Man going to be farmable? I'm thinking around the time that Zombie Juggernaut is released, and hopefully they do a release every Halloween. We get a new character farmable, a new unfarmable one introduced, because this is kind of a luxury team. This is not needed for anything. This is very luxury character. What are your thoughts on the farmability of Zombie Iron Man, or Zombie Iron Man, and what do you think it's going to have the same treatment for Zombie Juggernaut a year before we could farm this character?
All right, so Zombie Iron Man is probably one of the most unique characters in the entire game, right? Where he doesn't need the stars or the gear or anything, and he works, right? So I want people to be able to unlock him. Yes. The people that did not unlock Zombie Iron Man, I think should have some sort of path to unlock Zombie Iron Man. As far as for me, and I think I'm not going to speak for you, but you have him unlocked. Is more stars going to change your experience with him? And probably not. He's still good. But
having that unlock will, right?
Yeah, I think people
that don't have him.
People that don't have Zombie Iron Man should have a way of. This just makes sense. Why would somebody want to buy Zombie Juggernaut if they have no access to Zombie Iron Man? there are people that don't have zombie Iron Man, right? Why would they buy zombie Juggernaut? So they got to make it available.
From a sales perspective, they have to make them farmable. That makes sense.
Yeah, they have to somehow, right?
Yeah.
But as far as me personally, I don't care if he's farmable because he's good at what I've got him at. I think I've got him at 4 stars.
It's not for us though. It's for people that don't have him unlocked. That's why he needs to be farmable.
Yeah, I mean, like getting him to 6 or 7 stars, yellow stars, is not super important to me. Zombie Juggernaut's going to be dark promotion credits. Dude, it's going to be the same as Zombie Iron Man.
Now, this character, just looking at his kit, seems like these red stars, these stars on his character seems a little more important than Zombie Iron Man.
It's a lot more important because do you think
he's going to still be unfarmable, or this is like a ploy to get people to spend right now because they won't be able to get him until October next year?
So he's a pre-taunting tank that kicks the taunt over on a certain threshold, and he also gets turn meter when he's hit. And but he has to survive because he doesn't revive until he gets 5 charges. So he needs to take the Gregs need to respawn, and the Zombie Iron Man needs to respawn to get the charge. So at low star levels, it's possible to blow this guy up, or this guy will get exploded easily before he goes. Yeah. So he does need stars to survive. He does not work like Zombie Iron Man, is what I'm trying to say. Zombie Iron Man, just revives and revives and revives. The bleed mechanic is the other team is killing itself with the bleed mechanic. As long as there's bleeds out there, that's not true for Juggernaut Zombie. Like to get him up and running long enough to get the charges so that he can revive, is important. And he does need to stick around to get the full effect.
And what team do you think this is going to be used on? The new Undying team, the 3-piece now.
I had a maxed out account, a 7-7, and I blew up every team in the game with the 3-piece. Every team.
All right. So it's that easy. Just max out your Undying, and there's no team that can.
So, but I don't think they're going to sell the yellow stars on this. I don't think you're going to even be able to buy stars on this, right? It's going to be so incredibly expensive, and it's dark promotion credits. So what I tested is not realistic. I suppose that the Mega Krakens will have like a 4-5 or something right out of the gate, but I'm not expecting 7-7s to be out there in the wild anytime soon.
Yeah, but like I said in the beginning, I think this is more of a luxury team. Anybody that has this, they're going to have more fun, but I don't think it's going to be required for any new content, and it looks like it's gonna be just for war, maybe for Cosmic Crucible offense. This is
a Kraken snack. This is if you're looking for something to skip, this is it, right? But I don't know what to tell you. I'm not skipping this. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, this looks pretty fun. This looks fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
You know what else is fun? We got the drop and drag feature that went live this week. We knew it was coming sometime in this update. It is here now, and I've been wanting this for a while. Now it still goes in the order of the third character and the second, and the third, second, fourth, first, second. But now we could drag and drop these. I love this feature. I've been waiting for this for years. Did you make use of this? I made use of this on stream this morning. This is awesome.
Yeah. I was pulling out. I trying to do unlimited with Red Guardian, and so you have to move the team around before you put in Red Guardian. It saved me 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Because you have to you have to go in and load up unlimited, place the unlimited correctly, then place the Red Guardian. It just made it so much easier.
Oh yeah, and then you got to use your filters in the old days, and then scroll down.
I basically didn't have to do the unlimited filter. I could just go right to finding Red Guardian and not have to load the unlimited filter first. And it saved me time. And this is a perfect example too, because the placement of Agatha and Morgan Le Fay matters, right? Because you usually
don't place them like I have them right now.
You typically want Agatha on the extreme end and Morgan Le Fay adjacent to Agatha. We'll do it real quick. That's it. How much time would that take? You know what I mean? And then maybe put Scarlet Witch and swap out Doctor Strange.
Time because we would have to choose the order. The order is still weird. So this is awesome.
Swap around Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, and you're good to go, right?
Here we go.
I mean, there you go. That's the team placement, right?
So quick. I love it. It should have been done years ago. That's my only complaint about this. This is good.
Yeah, well, this is such a simple thing that should have been in the game for a long time. I love it. So anyways, there you go.
Yes. Now we got a temporary solution to these save squads, and I do think that is temporary because we should be. This is not what they've done in the past, but I think a more long-term solution is coming. Now the way to get these is every 5 levels you're getting another save squad. So at 251, you're getting another save squad. At 256 characters unlocked, you're getting another save squad. So technically there's 51 save squads in the game right now. As you get 256 characters, there'll be 52 save squads.
256 and 261. There you go.
Characters achievement will activate new characters in the game. So be able to look up for these achievements.
We're good for 15 characters, right?
We're good for a little bit, and hopefully by that time they figure out this long-term solution that they've been teasing for years. And I hope it's a good one. I hope it's a good one, and they don't have to keep updating it every so often like they do right now.
It is what it is. I know that it's been explained to me why this system is complicated, and it's not just adding an extra save squad, because it has to do with the Blitz game mode and the way the Blitz game mode is designed, and I heard a whole story. It's not an easy or it's not
if
just,
it was an easy thing, they would have done it years ago, right?
That's exactly what they said. If this was super easy, we would have done it. You know what I mean?
They know this is a problem. Blitz, you mentioned Blitz. We got our timers back to 2 hours. What do you think the reception was to this 1 hour from Scopely? I know from the players it was overwhelmingly positive. I was hoping we get another 1 hour Blitz. Maybe they need more time to implement it, but it's back to 2 hours. So do you think that the 1 hour timer was a success in the eyes of Scopely?
I don't know. And if this created more engagement, then they're going to keep it. Yeah, I feel, see, to me, this is putting lipstick on a pig. You know what? Yeah, does the pig look better with lipstick? Yes. It's still a pig. You know what I mean? And so
it's still Blitz mode. Blitz mode sucks. But if you're willing to grind it, you can get some pretty good rewards. And that's kind of what I like about Blitz right now. If you're willing to put in the mindless time and do this stuff, you can get rewarded pretty good for it. It's not like a fun game mode like Crucible or War or some other ones, but you can get some good stuff if you're willing to do this. So it's better.
I fundamentally feel that Blitz is a horrible game mode in its current form.
It is. The rewards from it are good though.
Okay, but if you were building a video game and you were trying to raise money for the game and you said to the person, we have this game mode where you press 3 buttons.
That's not how it started though, right? That's not how this was Arena back in the day. We had to do these manual fights. That's how it started. It wasn't that bad.
It's not a game mode. Like nobody would get in a room conceptually and say, the core loop to this game mode is press 3 buttons 51 times every 2 hours. It's stupid. It doesn't even make sense.
Oh, in their eyes, we're getting our players to log in 8 times a day just to do this thing, and they're logging in even more because of all the random cooldowns and timers that we have in the game.
There's other ways of doing that is actually meaningful.
Yeah, I know.
They can say log in every 2 hours to collect this, and it gets the same result. Like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be this. Like if they're trying to get in a behavior and it's with rewards, there's different ways of doing that.
Let's take this even further. I want to take this even further. Just make a sim all button. Log in every 1 hour. Hit the sim button. We got our login, and we don't have to do the stupid mode. Just do that. That guy that's gone. He wasn't going to do a sim all button, but the guy that we talked to that doesn't work there anymore, he moved on to something bigger and better, I guess. He was like against it. Yeah, he's off of Netflix, and so maybe the new guy will be okay with a sim all button. Maybe. I mean, especially with the way these are structured, 1 hour Blitz timers, they're based on playing, not winning, and if that's the case, I don't know why we gotta click through this. There's, I guess, just a login time, and they can still get that login frequency with doing a sim all button. So that's where I'm at now with this. All right, and Kang was added to the premium orbs, replacing Sersi. If you already have a 7-star Kang, this doesn't make a difference. But if you don't, how big is this? And who do you think is going to be replacing Icarus in these orbs once he finally gets replaced?
Probably some character like Vol, let's say. I have no idea.
I like that Vol prediction. That's a good prediction.
And let's talk about math for a second. 2%. So Yeah, mathematically, if you open 100 orbs, right?
Yeah.
You could get 2 Kang drops, right?
Woo!
But I mean, like, so like that's like, well, how many times do you have to flip a quarter to get heads twice, right? You have to flip it 4 times on average, right?
On average, yeah.
Yeah, but is it possible to get 0 heads if you flip a quarter 4 times?
Yes.
Yeah, so like you could open 100 of premium orbs and get 0 kings. It's not that unlikely. Someone did the math, and I think there's like a 13% chance that if you opened 100 premium orbs, you could get 0 Kang shards. So like people are like opening 50 and not getting any, and they're like, well, it's mathematics, it's math, right? There's just a chance that, you know, it's not gonna, you know, RNG is RNG, right? It just is what it is.
These weren't very good orbs in the beginning of the game, and then they gotten worse ever since because they got more and more characters added to this. So like, I'm just glad that they're finally replacing Sersi because she's been farmable for a long time. I hope they replace Icarus soon too because he's been farmable for a long time as well. So
so I know
this up to date. Keep this up to date.
So people save these, right, for an update like this. And, you know, they save like what? Like, I see that you have like 30. Some people save like 50.
I'm saving for the new Avengers. When the new Avengers go in here, I'm opening these. That's what I'm saving it for.
I just don't know, like, how many do you have to save for that to be meaningful? It's a large number. Like 100,
I'm hoping to get
200,
as big as possible, and hopefully it does make a difference in whatever the next legendary unlock is.
Even if you saved up 100 of these for Kang to hit, you still had, you know, a 13% chance that you got none. And then what, you saved all of those shards for a time when you could have just been opening them as it went along, and then getting used to those characters at that moment rather than not having them. Like, the time value of the item has gone down drastically if you've been saving for months.
Yeah, I just want new Avenger shards. Kang is cool, but I want new Avenger shards. That's what I'm saying.
I don't hoard these, is what I'm saying. I understand that people hoard, but please understand the math is super terrible. And hoarding may or may not be big of a deal.
Just because I do it doesn't mean I'm recommending that to everybody.
Yeah, I don't think hoarding it doesn't make sense for my account.
That's what I want to do. I'm not recommending it. If you want to do it, you can. But yeah, like MobileGamer said, the math isn't very good if you do that. All right. We got some data mines about the new blog that should be coming out tomorrow. We should get some information on Infinity War Iron Man, if this data mines are correct. The new event for Tigra that we're going to talk about, and the incursion details. So does this mean that possibly next week we're getting the incursion campaigns in the game? Did they need an extra week for it to finish?
I don't know. I have no idea what that means. We'll have to see. I think, you know, this blog may be reaction to what happened. I don't know. I feel like the data mine would have that. I don't know what to make of this. We'll find out.
Data mines about the next day's blog have sometimes been 2 weeks in advance. So this may not even be next week. Tomorrow's blog.
I didn't look at the blog post in advance, so I have no idea.
I purposely don't look at the blog post in advance until this news video is done. So I don't know what's going to go on. And if you got a lot of gold, you might be getting a gold costume for Dormammu, because what it says in the data mines, the golden dimension milestone for a limited time, a new daily milestone replaces the previous golden opportunity milestone, which is in the game right now, that got some reworks over the past year or so and got slightly better. Now there's going to be milestones for a Dormammu costume. 31 days to earn enough gold flash bits to purchase Dormammu's costume. 6 million points in the golden dimension milestone to access the rank rewards, and 25 or higher would contain gold flash bits. 40,000 gold flash bits to purchase Dormammu's costume. How realistic is this for most players, or is just this strictly a whale milestone?
First of all, I don't care.
And I know you don't. I know you don't know the math on this because it's not even in the game yet. So where do you predict this is going to be for?
If this is a soft rework to the golden opportunity milestones, then it's cool. Like, it's just, that's all it is. Like, if they're reworking the daily milestone for gold spending into something that maybe has less orange gear and has more teal gear, cool.
And I think I would like it if there's like a monthly milestone. Every 31 days, they switch this for another costume, I think that'd be cool.
I guess I don't care about the costumes, but if the day, let's say I spend 2-3 million gold a day, like you spent like 4 million yesterday, right? Yeah, but if I was getting like some teal catalysts in there, some focus or health catalysts, that's going to make the difference to me. I don't care about any of this stuff. I don't care about any of the focus or teal catalyst. Oh my goodness. I don't care about any of this. If the milestone is better and it's a rework to this milestone, I'm going to be a fan.
All right, I will be a fan as well. But for some reason, even though they make no difference in the game, I do like these costumes. So I'm probably going to try for this once I see these milestones, if it's realistic, if it actually comes to the game. Because, of course, these are data mines. And we got 2 other data mines about events coming. For this one, this looks like this is a Tigra unlock. Earn Vindicator Orb fragments earned in campaign nodes, battling in raids using pretty much your Bifrost team. You're going to get increased points at higher gear levels. Also, web milestone spending power cores and rewards including Tigra, Ronin, Elite 6, Gear 17, Elite 18, Orbs, a lot of good stuff here. So more new Avenger shards are coming with this, kind of like we talked about earlier, these events trickling these character shards. Are you saving any campaign nodes for this current event, for this next one, or are you going maxing out in this current event?
Okay, so the way these events typically work is it's you basically, if you go through like one node, you max points for the event, right? You don't have to do it over and over again. So it's like, do you have a gear tier 17 or gear tier 18 Teen Loki? Yes or no, you get the points. That's the way that I view these events. And then it looks like
a lot of these points are coming from these campaign nodes, these Vindicator Orb fragments, kind of like what you have going on right now.
No, it's going to be okay, so there's the raid component, there's the daily collection, and then there's the spending power cores, right?
Yes.
There's 3 components. In the past, when they've had events with these 3 type of components, the first one, which is raiding, it's just do it once, and you either have the character at 16 or 17 or not.
That portion of it, it should be 1 or 2. It should be easy.
So there's 3 parts. 2 of them are like don't even matter really. It's just like logging in, and you either have the character at whatever gear tier they want you to have it at or not, and then you're spending power cores. It's just a power core spending event.
Yeah, and we got another event coming up, which we need to spend more power cores. Spending ebony trees in the event store. By spending power cores that you're going to get this stuff. Get the ebony trees from campaign nodes, festival, web milestones, and there's going to be a leaderboard for this, including a 7 red star big time Spider-Man. I'm guessing the top 5 players are going to get that or something like that. Not a lot of players are going to get that. Also battling in raids. But yeah, push any saving for any of these events, or just because you're spending a lot now on these current events, or because of these data mines, maybe you're not doing anything for this. Are you doing any planning for any of these events or nothing?
No, I don't do any planning on these. They've really streamlined these events where it's just, okay, you need to spend power cores and it's an auction. I mean, it's just been reduced to very little min-maxing, in my opinion.
All right, and that is it for the news. Any other final thoughts on what's been going on in Marvel Strike Force? What are you liking with the direction of this game based on what you saw from some of these data mines and what you've seen this week?
I was worried about the direction of the game, specifically with what they were going to do with gating content with red stars. And I'm a little bit more comfortable with that today, seeing the whatever the new game mode, the daily, I'm more comfortable with that idea. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm always cautiously optimistic because I can't even pronounce that, but yeah, that's what I am in this game. Thanks for watching though, guys. And if you want to check out what are the best characters to farm right now in Marvel Strike Force, the best plug and play characters, make sure you check out the video up there. I'll see you guys next time. If you did like this video, made it all the way to the end, thank you. And hit that like button. It's free for you. It helps support the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Are you ready for Hulk Fist Bump Mobile Gamer?
Let's go. Just second one.
Hulk Fist Bump ValleyFlyin Mobile Gamer. Have a great rest of your day, guys.